Hey everybody, welcome back to DanganRonpa V3. We're starting up from where we last left off with Tsumugi proclaiming that apparently it was Junko Enoshima. Now, turns out from our detective work, it may possibly be Tsumugi that is the mastermind, but a lot of mysteries are gonna probably unfold here. I don't know what's gonna happen yet. I'm not sure what's happening exactly. But a name drop was made for Junko Enoshima, and Tsumugi is, I guess, on a chopping block? Anyway, let's begin.
What?
'Cause it's always been her. In the Hope's Peak killing game, and in the Jabberwock Island killing game. Junko Enoshima didn't participate. She controlled the game from outside. Even if it's boring or repetitive, she's always the mastermind, isn't she? Then it's like that this time too. It's gotta be Junko again.
Junko Enoshima is dead. She's not part of this killing game.
Junko was dead in the second game, yet she was still part of the killing game, however.
You're wrong. She hasn't been eliminated. It's all Junko's doing. This killing game is her doing too. Yeah, that's gotta be it. 'Cause Junko Enoshima is...
Give me a sec, I'm scrolling back. Getting my pages back to the very front. Not sure how far this is going to continue or not, but...
Junko Enoshima is...
'Cause Junko Enoshima is...
Junko Enoshima is...
Daddy, please don't get so excited! You pressed the button by accident!
Look at our cute faces! Can you really bear to be without us?
Bear to be... Oh my god, a bear punch.
Junko Enoshima is...
Junko Enoshima is what? Okay, time for a commercial break.
What?
No, it isn't!
See? We're a good comedy group too! So please don't...
What?
'Cause Junko Enoshima is... Junko Enoshima is...
Is what?
Right the fuck here!
Sorry to keep you waiting.
What?
Even if nobody was waiting. Even if it makes you go, what? Again?
What?
The Diva of Despair takes the stage once more. Junko Enoshima, the 53rd.
What?
There you have it! Once again, the mastermind is Junko Enoshima!
The 53rd? What does it mean about 53rd?
Junko Enoshima, the 53rd?
Tsumugi, what's the matter? Aren't you... Tsumugi Shirogane? Our friend who survived with us?
Sorry about that. You can go ahead and forget about Tsumugi Shirogane.
'Cause I'm just a character. You know, a lie.
Sorry to all her fans out there. If any of you even exist, that is.
Damn, that is cold. That particular is cold, because I follow a couple of accounts on Twitter, and a lot of them retweet the fact that, like, oh, Tsumugi is shit, she's so annoying and stuff. What? Hold on. I'm still having a hard time processing. Is this for real? Is this just bullshit? Was Tsumugi always Junko Enoshima? Junko Enoshima? Or, wait. Or just like the Kokichi situation where Tsumugi is trying to make us think that she's Junko Enoshima because she's not? I'm so confused. What?
A lie?
Tsumugi Shirogane was nothing more than a cover for me, the mastermind. Calling her your friend? Ugh, it's laughable, really.
I mean, that is Junko Enoshima's MO to change personality so drastically. But then why was her pink skin... Why was her skin pink whenever she tried to dress up as Kaede? Because she said she had allergies. What?
Really? I'm gonna laugh.
Are you serious? You're the mastermind behind this?
Is she actually?
But why? That face and that voice. It's just like...
Junko Enoshima.
I know, right? Oh, does it make you fall into despair? Well, does it?
No, that's not possible. Junko Enoshima is dead.
Here's what, okay, calling out right now, theory, crazy theory crafting. There is still remnants of despair, and these remnants of despair all take form of Junko Enoshima. Here I actually said Junko Enoshima the 53rd. Somebody always takes the mantle of Junko Enoshima at this point. I think that's what's going on here. Somebody always takes the mantle as like a disciple or whatever, right?
Why did you call yourself the 53rd?
Exactly.
As history repeats itself, so does Junko Enoshima.
Yeah?
As you can see, I am a perfect reproduction of Junko Enoshima. So, you're just a freak pretending to be Junko Enoshima, huh?
She is, isn't she?
No, a perfect reproduction.
Perfect reproductions are exactly the same as the original.
Her logic is impossible to follow, much like the real Junko Enoshima's.
Actually, I feel like I'm kind of following a little bit more here. If you look at the ultimate of, you know, Tsumigi Shirogane, if you really look at her ultimate, she is the ultimate cosplayer. Her talent is to cosplay as other characters that are other than her own. Except her one quirk is that she can't. Here's the thing: she can't. Here's the thing: she cannot. She literally cannot be cosplaying as somebody who's real or somebody who exists. If Junko Enoshima doesn't exist, or she never met Junko Enoshima because she's already been dead, technically, would that be perfectly fine for her to be able to cosplay as her as Junko Enoshima? She does say she's the 53rd, so I'm guessing that people like wearing Junko Enoshima as a mantle at this point because we saw Junko Enoshima die, and Junko Enoshima has already been dealt with in the second game and in the anime of Danganronpa 3. She's already being dealt with. There's no way they could be just bringing her back just like that. Oh, Junko Enoshima is suddenly back. No, that gotta be a mantle. There has to be a mantle. Has to be a mantle that just they uphold. Same thing happened even in Ultra Despair Girls, where Monica was upholding the mantle of Junko Enoshima. She was so inspired to be like Junko Enoshima that she even was in the anime itself, in the Danganronpa 3 anime, she even embodied the appearance of Junko Enoshima. There's no way this is just Junko Enoshima. There's no fucking way.
Whatever it is, you're the actual mastermind of this killing game, right? So if we kill you, then that'll be the end, correct?
Oh boy.
Oh, say mean things like that. Besides, killing me never ends the game.
It never ends the game? What do you mean?
She's bluffing. Let's just kill her and get it over with.
Wait, if force is necessary, it should wait until after we see what she...
No need, Kibo, because this class trial is over.
What? It's already over? Oh, but I just showed up.
You killed Kaede, and Monokuma covered it up with a false narrative. The class trials are rigged, and this whole game is illegitimate.
Oh, that. Right. Yeah, I definitely messed that up. Sorry about that. So...
So, is that all you have to say?
The viewers won't accept that kind of apology. You gotta stop the killing game!
Huh? The viewers?
It seems like you're on the wrong track, so let me explain.
Okay.
Okay, so first, I'll start with the event that inspired me to plan this killing game. That was about the time the meteorite impact started intensifying.
Did she just start some big story on her own?
I knew of Hope's Peak Academy's Gopher Project, and my inner Junko told me.
Crushing the Gopher Project, humanity's last hope, would be the perfect despair.
That's when I took over the killing game I devised. I forced those selected as humanity's last hope to play my killing game.
And then I took the name Tsumugi Shirogane and sneaked in among them.
Did Kokichi know about this? Wasn't he a remnant of despair? He was your comrade, right?
I actually think that maybe Tsumugi was the remnant of despair at this point. The mastermind Junko Enoshima, right? If we go with the fact that Junko Enoshima is in fact dead, and Tsumugi is copycatting Junko Enoshima, Tsumugi could be part of the ultimate despair. The fact that she even told Shuichi, the fact that she is so well hidden in plain sight because she's so plain, this is actually something that I feel like she could easily do, since she's able to hide so plainly in sight and only be, you know, in spotlight when she cosplays. That could allow her a way to bypass a lot of the things that will be, you know, set up in order for her to, you know, go unnoticed, to go under the radar for a lot of, you know, even for the goal for project selection.
Huh? Comrade? Junko Enoshima doesn't have comrades.
It's like, you don't need a remote after you've thrown out the TV, right?
The remnants of despair are just a bunch of despair fanboys and fangirls.
But I am despair itself.
I am a god of despair. Kokichi was just one of my believers.
Wait, was he really?
A god wouldn't be comrades with one of their believers, right?
Then Kokichi didn't know your true identity either.
What a hopeless existence he led.
Wait, was Kokichi actually part of a... No, I feel like Kokichi wasn't part of the Ultimate Despair. At least everything that points out to his previous past points to him that he was not part of the Ultimate Despair. The fact is, one of the facts that we learned about was a motive video regarding that as part of his dice group, they together with his 10 underlings committed non-violent crimes and harmless pranks around the world. And we know from playing the second game and the third anime that the Ultimate Despairs did everything and anything to cause despair. Murder, killing, I don't know, destruction of property. Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even know at that point where to start. Yeah, murder, killing, destruction of property, large-scale destruction of property, not just like, you know, vandalism. Manipulation, torture. They did everything possibly they possibly could. And a pollution of the air as well, which is, you know, we learned in the what's that other game that we played? Ultra Despair goes that the Toga group? Yeah, the Toga group had to set up an air purifier in order to make sure they can have some sort of a refuge for the people that just survived the most tragic event in human history.
To the end, he had no idea the object of his worship was right under his nose.
I don't care about your story. Tell us about the people watching. Who's this killing game being shown to? Where are the survivors of humanity?
There's nobody watching.
Huh?
That's a lie.
We were the last 16 people alive, you know. Who could be watching? Humanity is gone.
Okay, theory right now. I know people are watching. But question. Remember how we said there was the ultimate killing game, and there were 2 survivors that moved on to the next killing game? What if at every next killing game, a single person is selected to be brainwashed to think that they're the inner despair Junko Enoshima to play the role of the mastermind? What if? And if she is the 53rd, this is the 53rd Ultimate Despair Killing School Life game that we're playing right now then. Maybe? And maybe Tsumugi doesn't even realize that we've been broadcast on television because she hasn't even figured that out yet. She thinks that her goal is as the herself incarnate Junko Enoshima, you know, Junko Enoshima incarnate that lives within her. I'm messing up a lot, sorry. But what if she doesn't even know that this is being broadcasted? Like, she is aware of the nanobots that parse the information to Monokuma and everything, but what if she's actually a participant of this game, unwilling participant, has been brainwashed to think that she is Junko Enoshima because of the flashback lights, since we can set the settings on them and everything? I do wonder.
No, you're lying. If this isn't being shown to anyone, why care so much about rules? You're the one who keeps talking about making the game interesting. For whom?
That was just a part of my perfect reproduction.
You're what?
I just perfectly reproduced my own killing game is all. Just like the old Junko. The original was meant to be shown, so that's how I made mine.
You just wanted to recreate the past killing game. That's it?
I doubt it.
Yep, that's it.
There are no survivors of humanity. Things are just as you recalled.
I doubt it.
That is the truth of the Ultimate Academy killing game!
No, that's wrong!
Hell yeah.
Oh dear! I am so surprised!
Maybe we all remember that there's no one left out there. But how do we know our memories are real?
Huh? What do you mean by that? You think your memories are wrong?
Oh, hell yeah.
There's something that's been bothering me about our memories.
Shuichi's on a fucking roll, dude. I love this. Shuichi is on a roll. Shuichi is finally taking the reins, and I love that about him. A lot of times he was very unsure about him. He had to, be pushed alongside either by Kaito's rambunctiousness or by other people pointing out things that are, had inconsistencies, but in order for Shuichi to grab onto them. But now Shuichi is taking the lead, and I love it.
Here, look at this book.
The complete history of Hope's Peak Academy?
This book contains years of research about Hope's Peak Academy. Nothing would indicate this book is a prop. I believe the information here is accurate.
And if you look at the detail, I got my handy dandy book with me. History of Hope's Peak Academy is it's a book item found in Kokichi's lab in particular, references history of the old class and all the previous games as well. It mentions things like Ultimate Despair, as a group of themselves, and Junko Noshima as well in the event. Junko plotted to kill some of the 8th class, and the class locked themselves in Peak Academy Shelter Project, and Hope's Peak scouted students never took them by application. I feel like all these, I know, kind of just like read out a bunch of details and everything, but the one particular note I did put out is it directly contradicts Shuichi Maki's flashback memories, as well as everybody else's flashback memories regarding everything that has happened after Hope's Peak Academy, because this is a most recent compendium. It should have documented how there was a Golfo project built in there.
But there's a lot written in here that differs from our memories.
What is different?
To know that for certain, I'll need everyone's help. I want you all to tell me everything that you remember about Hope's Peak Academy.
We just need to talk about what we remember from Hope's Peak? Okay.
So it started with the biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
That concludes that.
That event originated at Hope's Peak Academy, inspiring wars and terrorism around the world. It would not be hyperbole to say that event brought despair to all mankind.
Very accurate.
And it was all caused by a single high school girl.
Yeah, it was me! Junko Enoshima enrolled in Hope's Peak Academy as the ultimate fashionista.
Man, that voice, dude, that voice is on point with the original Junko Noshima. Oh, it's beautiful.
But my real identity was the ultimate despair. In order to cover the world in despair, I put my plans...
Wait a minute. Something doesn't add up here.
Huh? I detect no discrepancy in my memory banks.
Yes. Everything we just said is just like we remember it. But it doesn't match what's written in the history of Hope's Peak Academy.
I'll determine exactly why later. For now, I need to identify the discrepancy.
So you gotta play Spot the Difference! Point out what everyone is mistaken about in their memories of Hope's Peak Academy! Alright! Time to play some DanganRonpa Trivia!
Huh. They actually called DanganRonpa this time around. I'm pretty sure DanganRonpa has already been mentioned before in Japanese version, but I've yet to see History's whole peak. Oh
biggest,
boy.
most awful, most tragic event in human history.
That event originated at Hope's Peak Academy,
It did?
inspiring war and terrorism around the world.
Uh-huh.
The cause of all that despair was just a single high school girl.
No, it wasn't just single high school
Student
girl.
of Hope's Peak Academy.
The ultimate despair! Junko Enoshima!
I did everything in my power.
To spread despair over the entire world!
Something about that statement doesn't match with history. Let me go look through it. Details the history of first and second game. Okay, so details. Contains key phrases. Cause of the event were the ultimate despair. The ultimate despair is the group and events caused by Junko. Junko plotted to kill someone in 8th class. The ultimate despair is also described. Ultimate despair. Okay, so here's the thing. Ultimate despair defines first Junko Noshima and the group, as well as the events caused by Junko. Junko did not single-handedly start this whole thing. It was a collection, it was a process, it was a sequence of events that started all that were caused not by just Junko, but the people that she manipulated and recruited over to her side. It's a lot of people involved in it. I remember directly from the anime, a lot of work has gone in order to launch the Ultimate Despair, the most awful, the most tragic event in human history.
The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history.
I got it.
That event originated at Hope's Peak Academy,
It did, certainly.
inspiring war and terrorism around the world.
Okay, just want to make sure I get my button right.
Cause of all that despair was just a single high school girl.
Hell yeah.
That's wrong!
It was not a single high school girl. Also, I shot a little bit ahead because I thought it was going to keep moving.
One high school girl started the tragedy, the ultimate despair, Junko Enoshima. At least that's what I remember. But that's not what this book says. Ultimate despair doesn't just refer to Junko Enoshima. It refers to a group and the movement that came after. To put it simply, there's more to ultimate despair than Junko Enoshima.
This is the first time I've heard about this. Wasn't Junko the ultimate despair?
If Junko was the ultimate despair, the remnants of despair would have no reason to keep fighting after Junko was dead. But they still hung on to it. They cling on to the memory and to the want to spread despair as much as possible because Junko ingrained the idea. She wasn't the Messiah, she ingrained the idea as the primary goal for the ultimate despair and anybody else who wanted to spread despair.
That's what I recall as well. That label should only apply to her.
Coincidences sure are scary. Everyone misremembered the same thing.
Coincidence? Misremembered?
No, it's no coincidence. I know there's a difference in these memories.
And that's not all. There are other discrepancies I'd like to point out.
Ugh, does it even matter? I'm bored already. Just shut up.
So, let's continue where we left off. Junko resorted to different tactics to cover the world with despair. The killing game between the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy, for example.
Yep.
They were locked up and forced into the killing game by the ultimate despair.
But boo-hoo. When I, the one who started it all, died, events were set in motion.
And the world began to move towards restoration.
Then the fight between the Future Foundation and the remnants of despair raged on! But the worst-case scenario was avoided! Yay! A happy ending.
Not yet. The more points that conflict with the history. I'll point these out next. What have you got here? Alright. Are we gonna get one bullet again? History of Hope's Peak? Yes, okay. So what are we conflicting
The biggest,
with?
most awful, most tragic event in human history happened.
Yep.
Because Junko had prepared countless ways of spreading despair.
Yep.
Like the killing game of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy.
They were held prisoner by the ultimate despair. And forced into the killing game.
They weren't prisoner. No.
I have some bad news about that. The events that my death set in motion are only now reaching their climax. So the remnants of despair and the Future Foundation are still fighting. But for now, we've avoided the worst of it.
Here's the thing though. It's different from all memories after all. No. 70 class locked themselves in the Hope's Peak Academy. They weren't held hostage at first. They participated in a program called Peak Academy Shelter Project. So they chose to willingly close themselves out in order to survive the worst of the worst, and Junko used that in particular in order to manipulate the game and play the game. They weren't locked in. We even remember that after playing through the game that they chose themselves to lock themselves in from what's going happening. Was a contradiction.
The
Oh, I
biggest,
got
most
it. I
awful,
got
most
it.
tragic event in human history happened.
I got it. I totally got
Because Junko
it.
had prepared countless ways of spreading despair.
Like the killing game of the 78th class of Hope's Peak Academy.
They were held
Okay.
prisoner by the ultimate despair.
No. They weren't.
That's wrong!
They weren't. They weren't held prisoner. Oh my god, this brings back memories, dude.
It wasn't the ultimate despair that trapped the 78th class in Hope's Peak Academy. It was the class themselves. They shut themselves in.
Shut themselves in?
Why would they shut themselves in?
It has to do with the Hope's Peak Academy Shelter Project. During the tragedy, the 78th class trapped themselves inside Hope's Peak Academy for protection.
So our memory of the 78th class being trapped by the ultimate despair?
Are you saying our memories are wrong? It just means those documents were written all half-assed.
And here's the thing, I do wonder if this Junko, or Tsumigi technically, still thinks that the previous events were meant to be. I don't think Tsumigi chose to be Junko Nishima, that's the thing. Even if she didn't, who the fuck made her become Junko Nishima in the first place?
There's no need to worry about it. Your memories are all correct.
What you've been saying isn't consistent. First you said it was just coincidence.
Huh. Is that so?
Let's just move on. I want to talk about one more thing from our memories.
Unless she is actually aware of everything going on, she is the true mastermind for this. She's not being brainwashed to think that she is Junko Nishima. She actually is one remnants of despair, and tries to be the Junko Nishima incarnate, and she's just trying to BS us. That could be also a possibility.
It's about the rebuilt Hope's Peak Academy that we were attending.
What about Hope's Peak Academy?
There's no doubt that the 16 of us were students at Hope's Peak Academy. We heard it had been rebuilt and was accepting applications for talented students again.
It's not accepting applications. Students have to be scouted.
And so, we gathered at the brand new Hope's Peak Academy.
Since Hope's Peak Academy was large, we were all in separate classes. But there's no doubt we were students of the new school.
That's the thing. Just like I thought, there's something wrong there. But why? Why are memories so different? They've been preloaded. They have to be preloaded. They don't take applications. Hope's Peak Academy students have to be scouted. They could never apply. They never took
Hope's Peak
applications.
Academy was rebuilt. And with that, recruitment of talented students resumed.
Did I
When we
miss?
found out,
Wow.
we came to the new Hope's Peak Academy.
The new Hope's Peak Academy was a huge school. Which is why we were all in different classes.
That's not
But
it.
we're all the same!
That's
away,
right.
go away.
We were all students of Hope's Peak Academy.
We were, but go away, go away, go away. Why? Why memory is different? I completely missed that
Hope's
thing.
Peak Academy was rebuilt.
And I'm using the Steam controller,
And
so it
with
should be
that-
better.
Recruitment of talented students.
Let me try this. Good.
That's wrong!
They didn't recruit. They didn't take applications. They have to be scouted. That was the way of Hope's Peak Academy.
We remember Hope's Peak Academy taking applications from talented students. But that's not what's written here. The Academy did not take applications. All of their students were scouted.
Scouted? I've never heard that.
I wasn't scouted. I applied to Hope's Peak Academy on my own.
Did you? Did we all?
Me too. I chose to come to Hope's Peak. At least, that's what I remember.
Are you saying we're remembering it wrong?
But what if this book's just wrong? Researchers make mistakes too.
Oh, no. It compiled by Steam researchers. It even said that in the book itself.
Maybe so, but I'm not getting all this from just the book. There is other evidence as well.
Other what?
The killing game we're in now is one that began with Hope's Peak Academy. So this is the third game after Hope's Peak and Jabberwock Island.
It's not. It's not though, that's the thing, it's not. That was the first test game, technically. Then the official game. Then the second game in Jabberwock Island. Then there was a third game, technically, on, a modified third game, on the headquarters of Hope's Peak. I forgot the island. Already. And then there's this. But we don't know how many games, maybe there were all games before this one as well, with, with Kokichi, possibly, and with, Rantaro.
But remember what Rantaro said?
Well, the truth is, this isn't your first killing game. You're the ultimate survivor. You survived the last killing game. So this will
But
be the fourth.
Rantaro's name wasn't listed among the past participants of the game. He was not present at the 2 killing games that Junko orchestrated.
Then, which killing game did Rantaro participate in?
I'm not entirely sure, but it's clearly inconsistent, isn't it? And the inconsistencies don't stop there. Kokichi's account is also suspect.
Kokichi's account is inconsistent too?
Oh, an inconsistency? Do tell.
I do gotta have to point out a little bit that you see like how Junko Nishima glows a little bit on the outskirts and on the outsides. That looks a little bit odd. Makes me feel like it's not the real Junko Nishima. If you look at everybody else, they have like on the outside layer, it's like a little bit shaded. But her, she's actually glowing. In fact, she could be behind a spotlight, but I mean, who knows?
We remember Kokichi as a remnant of despair, but I don't think that's true. He wasn't a remnant of despair.
He wasn't a remnant of despair?
Yeah.
That's impossible! He was definitely a remnant of despair.
Oh no no no.
The remnants of despair were the ones who tried to stop the Gopher Project. And Kokichi was their leader. If he was the one leading the remnants of despair, then he must have been second only to the ultimate despair herself.
Yes, he loved me more than anyone. Like an obsessed fan hiding in the bushes. So where's your proof he wasn't a remnant of despair?
The proof that Kokichi isn't a remnant of despair. Well, I would say it probably would have to be the Kokichi's motive video, right? Let me check here. Yeah, I'm gonna say Kokichi's motive video, to be completely honest.
This is it!
Yeah?
The motive video we found in Kokichi's dorm room.
Kokichi Oma, the ultimate supreme leader. He caused mayhem in the world over as leader of secret organization DICE. And by mayhem, I mean petty non-violent crimes and harmless pranks. Anyway, Kokichi had 10 little goons working for him. Trying to do Monokuma voice as best I can. These goons were like friends or family, most important people in his life.
An organization centered around petty crimes, one that forbids murder. And in addition to that, the group was only 10 people. That's far too few to be the same group that tried to sabotage the Gopher Project. Meaning that whatever group Kokichi was a part of is not the remnants of despair. His motive video clearly contradicts our memories. The memory we have of Kokichi being a remnant has to be false.
You mean he wasn't a remnant of despair? That's not possible.
And it would have knew about that so early on. Kokichi wasn't such a liar. Kokichi just wasn't such a liar. Oh, or if he would have been a little bit more clever with the hints that he dropped, that would be a little bit better. Oh, I have so many thoughts about it, but putting him aside for now. Putting him aside a little bit for now.
Come to think of it, we never actually heard it directly from him.
But it's still not possible.
Kokichi didn't tell us because he wasn't exposed to that flashback light. And neither was Kaito.
Junko? Oh, yeah, they weren't, were they? Hope, despair.
Kaito didn't appear to know anything about the remnants of despair, or Junko Enoshima.
If they'd been exposed to it, maybe we'd know the truth.
Maybe it's better that they weren't.
Oh, shit. Wait. What if there's a possibility that... What if there were a possibility that Kokichi possibly even thought of himself as a remnant of despair because he didn't know otherwise? Because he had no memories of anything. Maybe he just assumed that he would be the remnant of despair, which is why he should act the role of the ultimate despair and try to ruin the trial like he tried to. Did he? Maybe he didn't mention anything like that to Kaito before he died. I am so lost anyway. Oh, that's thinking too far back a little bit. Let me just go ahead and stay with this for a little.
I think the people who were affected by that flashback light were wrong.
What do you mean?
All of these weird inconsistencies are from memories we got from the flashback lights.
So the flashback lights are the cause?
You found the classroom that makes all the flashback lights, right, Shuichi?
Yes, and I noticed something strange about it. I actually did a little experimenting with a device hidden in the room. It allowed you to select the memory that a flashback light would recover. However, some of the memories were inconsistent with each other. One might say there are survivors, but another would say there are no survivors. Bizarre, right?
Which definitely means there was memory.
Flashback lights allegedly help us recover our memories.
Or preloaded memories onto us.
We're supposed to remember the truth that we forgot, and there should only be one truth. But then having the option to recover contradictory memories doesn't make sense.
Then what are you saying?
Huh?
The flashback light isn't for recovering lost memories? Is that what you're saying?
Then what was it for?
What was it for, huh? Huh?
Go on, tell them. What are the flashback lights for?
A lot of pressure on them. What are the flashback lights used for? Why can you see different memories? What does it mean if those memories contradict each other? Put all the pieces together, it'll make sense. Be able to see the real truth. Handmaid's Gambit? Oh boy!
1, 2. E is all that remains of a once powerful yokai. Right now, you're on the threshold of an amazing adventure. Showtime.